Damn. Silver here, and no USS Overlander to be seen. Today I have brought our land dinghy out on a day trip adventure. We are at Norris Dam State Park, and this is going to be the first episode in a new series called Silver Presents East Tennessee State Parks. Subtitle: The Great Smoky Mountain National Park is amazing, but there are other things to see here and I want you to see them all. Even though I'm not in the RV today, we are going to view this park from an RV traveler perspective. We're going to check out both campgrounds. We're going to tour this park like we're visitors, and hopefully y'all will appreciate what East Tennessee has to offer that isn't a national park. This is one of TVA's pride and joys. This dam was built by the Tennessee Valley Authority, which was a part of FDR's New Deal, and the intention of it was to revive East Tennessee and the surrounding areas with both the power they needed to grow and adapt to the new type of civilization that was happening. This dam is a part of the huge TVA dam system, which covers a lot of East Tennessee and up into Kentucky, as well as some surrounding areas. Norris Lake is completely man-made and is a result of valley flooding caused by the TVA on purpose when they built this dam. While the dam is a result of TVA, the park around it is mostly a result of the Civilian Conservation Corp. The CCC was a result of a post-depression attempt to give young men the opportunity to rejoin the workforce, learn valuable skills, and protect and maintain our nation's natural beauty. The Civilian Conservation Corp made a lot of the trails here, as well as multiple structures. They planted countless trees, and also kudzu, which was introduced as a miracle solution from Japan to prevent erosion, but the result is now East Tennessee has kudzu everywhere. So with that little history lesson, let's hop back in the land dinghy. Let's take off to explore the park. Our drive through the East campground was short and sweet. It had enough people in it that I didn't want to just stop and film. It felt a little bit interruptive. Now, I am not sure if I would want to take a large Class A or a big camper into that campground. Now, there were two pretty big Class A's parked there. If you've been behind the wheel of one for a while, you're really comfortable with your rig, go for it. Obviously, it can be done. I would definitely be comfortable taking our rig through it. That being said, I've put 10,000 miles on our rig, and it's basically just a really big truck. So the CCC built all of the cabins that you saw during the East campground tour. They built the tea room, and they also did a lot of work on making trails. Not all of the trails in Norris Dam State Park are built by CCC, but the majority of them are, which means that they are very old, very well created, and very well maintained. So unfortunately the tea room is locked. I am sure that if you schedule a tour in preparation to rent it for an event, they would come out and unlock it for you and let you see it. And I completely understand why they wouldn't want rabble like me to just waltz through it unaccompanied. I do have some pictures of it though from my sister's wedding. Now, it doesn't come with all of the yellow decorations, but this is it in all of its splendor. West Campground is beautiful. There are so many mature trees, it is quiet. That being said, there are several hairpins on the road to get up here. The road is wider than the road up to the East Campground, but there are hairpins on it that if you're not used to driving roads like this, or you're not used to how your rig handles in sharp turns and accelerating up steep inclines, it might not be the best idea for you to bring a brand new rig up here without getting used to driving it on country back roads first. And that being said, this campground is beautiful. It is quiet, it is peaceful, there are nature sounds. It's further away from the main campground itself. It's further away from the main park itself. It's farther off the main road, and I think it reflects in the peacefulness of it. Sights here are not optimal. I was a little bit scared to back my RAV with an excellent backup camera into one. I would definitely be on the edge of my seat trying to back the RV, even with the RV backup camera and Derek's help. The sights are also not perfectly level. It is on the side of a mountain, so give the campground that. For the side of the mountain, they're pretty good, but be sure that you bring a leveling system if you camp here. The sites are also not huge. If you have a longer rig, make sure that you book a site that will accommodate your rig so that you're not sticking your nose out on the very small campground loop. So other than the fact that some of the sites just drop off the side of a cliff, this place is beautiful. Something else that needs to be said here is that all throughout this park there are amazing playgrounds. There's one in the East and West campsite, there's one by the pavilions near the East campsite, and there are several more scattered throughout the park. I think that if you have kids, this would be an excellent destination to bring them, both for the playgrounds, the quietness, and also the fact that there is a ton of history here. There is so much that kids can learn about East Tennessee and Appalachia, about TVA and the CCC. A lot of families were removed from their homes, their farms, from their communities, churches, and everything that they'd known in order for TVA to create this dam and flood these valleys. There are a ton of talking points here that, whether you have kids or not, it's really interesting to dive into the history of what really happened here that a lot of people don't know about. Okay, this is a little bit of a weird thing to vlog, but I am in the public restroom at the marina and it's spotless. I've used so many national park restrooms that are just holes. This is lush. It's spotless. beach time. A part of the reason TVA decided to have this lake here was to improve recreation activity and increase tourism to East Tennessee. Norris Lake draws fishermen, it draws folks that just want to play in this beautiful water with the mountains surrounding them. Lunch is a grilled bean burrito. Don't make fun of me. It's food. So I want to talk a little bit about what prompted this video series. It is late August. It is still so hot here in East Tennessee. It is absolutely not camping weather for us or our huskies. We have also decided, for reasons yet to be announced, that we are going to delay our annual trip west until the spring or a little bit later. So that has left me doing a lot of videos about RV maintenance, which has been great, but I watch a fair amount of RV vloggers for my own entertainment. I watched RV vloggers before I decided to become one because I think that documenting the lifestyle is super interesting and I want to see other people's experiences too. So there is a full-time RV family that has a pretty substantial blogging presence on the YouTubes. They brought their Class A to the Smokies. On Wednesdays, the Cades Cove Loop is closed to traffic so that pedestrians and bikers can enjoy it more safely. And this family didn't realize that until on a Wednesday they planned to do their Cades Cove drive. So they had to come up with a plan B, and their plan B was to go to Buc-ee's. Now, I'm not against Buc-ee's. I get that some people really enjoy it and think it's neat. And if that's your thing, go for it. Enjoy what you enjoy. But if plan A is Cades Cove Loop, plan B could be somewhere just as beautiful. I know that we only have the one national park here in Tennessee, but we have amazing state parks and even some really awesome local parks. And so I decided that in this sort of downtime where I'm not going on big, huge RV adventures and I don't really have anything that I need to do to the RV maintenance wise, I would make some videos about the state parks we have here in East Tennessee that are day trippable for me. There are quite a few that are on my list to do as the weeks go on, and hopefully it'll spread a little bit of awareness what we have to offer here in the Appalachian Mountains of Tennessee. We're more than just the Smokies. So the marina does have a launch fee for boat guests, but if you are an overnight camper, you do get to launch your boat for free. And it is a traditional marina in the sense that it does have boat gas stations and the typical things you'd find at a marina. Can you tell I'm not a boater? I don't boat gas stations. So my next stop was going to be Clinch River Brewery. I didn't even realize is in the heart of the park. It is very close to both campgrounds, but unfortunately it is closed on Tuesdays. And the stop after that was going to be Lenore Museum, which is closed on Tuesdays. So I guess the moral of that story is actually check for things. Plan ahead, y'all. That being said, there are still a couple of things in the park that I want to show you. So let's move. So I am in the Crosby Threshing Barn. This historic building has been moved. It was originally located in Granger County, Tennessee on the Holston River, where it was built in the 1830s by the Crosby family along with enslaved peoples owned by the Crosby family. Before TVA flooded the valley, the Crosby family deconstructed the barn and donated all of the pieces to the National Park Service. The National Park never rebuilt it on National Park land because there was never a threshing barn like this on the land that now occupies the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. In the late 1900s, it was transferred from the National Park System to the Tennessee State Park System, and it was relocated here in Norris Dam State Park next to the historic grist mill, which has also been relocated. rice grist mill is even older than the threshing barn. Construction was completed in 1798 by the Rice family, and over the next 100 years, the grist mill went through a lot of changes, including changes to the wood it was made of and its uses. It has endured several storms, and it's been modified to provide power and electricity to a variety of needs. The mill was operated by 4 generations of Rice family until 1935, when TVA purchased the land and the mill from Rufus or Uncle Roof Rice. The Rices were forced to relocate to a farm in Blount County, and the Civilian Conservation Corp, along with the National Park Service, took great care to deconstruct the grist mill and label each piece so that it could be rebuilt away from flooded lands. In 1953, the TVA donated both the rebuilt mill and the land that it's seated on to the Tennessee Department of Conservation. The grist mill does have a gift shop inside of it, which is really neat to see, but again, everything in this park is closed on Tuesdays, so you'll have to bear with an outside tour. I hope that everyone has enjoyed this tour of Norris Dam State Park. This is one of my favorite places, and a place that has a lot of really good memories for me. This is the first in a series of state park tours in East Tennessee, in the area that is a day drive from me. As the weather cools off, I really look forward to getting back out in the RV, in the Overlander. But for now, thank you for joining me on this mini excursion, and I hope to see you on the next adventure.